Hey there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
Trump makes inaccurate claims about immigration in a recent press conference. Abbott orders Texas hospitals to collect patients' immigration status. CBP collects DNA from asylum seekers without their informed consent. Texas governor won't commit to work with Harris on immigration reform. New York City grapples with migrant encampments amid a shelter crisis.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
Former President Donald Trump made several inaccurate statements about immigration during a recent press conference. He claimed that 20 million individuals crossed the border during the Biden administration, a figure significantly higher than official reports. U.S. Customs and Border Protection data shows approximately 8.7 million border encounters from January 2021 to June 2024, a number that includes multiple crossings by the same individuals. Trump inaccurately referred to Vice President Kamala Harris as the border czar, misrepresenting her role in attempting to address root causes of migration from Central America. Harris was never in fact deemed border czar, or specifically assigned responsibility for dealing with the border. These statements reflect Trump's ongoing criticism of the Biden administration's immigration policies. Immigration is certain to figure prominently in the months leading up to the November 2024 presidential election.
And next up, for update number 2.
Governor Greg Abbott of Texas has signed an executive order requiring public hospitals to collect patients' immigration status. Effective November 1, 2024, the order aims to track healthcare costs for undocumented immigrants to bill the federal government. Abbott cited the Biden administration's border policies as justification. The Texas Hospital Association is reviewing the requirement, noting hospitals currently don't inquire about immigration status and must provide life-saving treatment to all. Critics argue the order may deter undocumented immigrants from seeking care, risking public health. They also cite concerns about patient privacy, discrimination, and potential violations of medical ethics and federal laws. Supporters claim it ensures accountability in resource use. The policy highlights tensions between immigration enforcement and public health priorities, potentially impacting immigrant communities and healthcare providers. Its constitutionality and administrative burden on hospitals are also questioned.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection is collecting DNA samples from asylum seekers, including minors, without their informed consent, as detailed in a recently published article. This practice, initiated in 2020, adds genetic profiles to the FBI's Combined DNA Index System, a criminal investigations database. Many asylum seekers, unaware of the purpose, provide samples before being expelled from the country. Critics argue this program disproportionately targets people of color and non-citizens, raising concerns about privacy, consent, and potential future misuse of genetic information. The Department of Homeland Security has become the largest contributor to the index system, with over 1.5 million profiles added since 2020. Legal experts question the constitutionality of the practice as it occurs without probable cause. Despite recommendations to halt the program and destroy collected samples, the government continues this controversial policy, leaving asylum seekers' DNA indefinitely stored in U.S. law enforcement databases.
And moving right along, update number 4.
In a rare CNN appearance, Texas Governor Greg Abbott refused to commit to collaborating with Vice President Kamala Harris on immigration reform. Abbott criticized the potential Harris-Walz administration as frightening, arguing that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz would be a disaster on border issues, despite Walz's sympathetic stance towards Texas's immigration challenges. The governor credited his actions in Eagle Pass for the recent decline in border crossings, contradicting immigration experts who attribute the decrease to Mexico's heightened enforcement efforts and recent policies enacted by the Biden administration. Abbott's CNN interview marks a departure from his usual preference for Fox News when discussing border issues. The exchange highlights the ongoing political divide over immigration policy, with Abbott maintaining a hardline stance and emphasizing border security measures. This stance aligns with his multi-billion-dollar border crackdown and migrant busing program, which have kept immigration at the forefront of national political discourse.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
New York City faces a growing challenge as migrant encampments emerge amid its ongoing shelter crisis. With nearly 65,000 asylum seekers in the city's care, some migrants are choosing to sleep in parks, subways, and streets. Encampments have appeared near existing shelters, including on Randall's Island and in Brooklyn. Some migrants cite safety concerns or job accessibility as reasons for avoiding shelters. The city recently imposed stricter time limits on shelter stays, but many migrants can remain indefinitely if they've applied for asylum. The situation complicates Mayor Eric Adams's efforts to manage the migrant influx while balancing the city's unique right-to-shelter obligation. The number of migrants entering the shelter system has decreased following recent federal border policies, but the emergence of unsheltered migrants presents a new challenge for city officials and raises concerns about street homelessness.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.